Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Growth, and I have today's read aloud. Today's read aloud is called Bringing the Outside In. I know we had been studying Todd Parr a lot this week, reading several of his books, but I was thinking it's such a beautiful day out there, and it would be pretty awesome if we could bring the outside in today, opening up some windows, getting some fresh air, and seeing what adventures we find. This story is written by Mary McKenna Siddles, and while I'm reading the story to you today, I would love for you to be thinking to yourself, what is this story all about? What's the big idea? What's the main idea? I want you also to be thinking about some key details from the story. Maybe even tell your grown-ups, your family, tell your pet, tell them who's in the story, who are the characters in the story, and be thinking about the setting. Where does the story take place? These are all great things to be talking about the books that we're reading, whether they're being read to you by myself or your family, or books that you are reading on Raz Kids or to yourself at home. Always be thinking to yourself, what is this story about? What is the big idea in this book? Okay, here we go. Bringing the outside in. Ooh, I see a beautiful bluebird, and I saw one just like this yesterday out in my yard. It was sitting on our soccer goal. It made me so happy to be hearing the spring birds outside. This dog makes me think of Noli. She loves to chase sticks. All right, and this little girl, I see her carrying some flowers, it looks like, in her hands. Here we go. We're bringing the outside in. Oh, bringing the outside in. And I'm noticing the kiddos. What kind of a day does it look like to you? What do you notice that the kiddos are doing? What do they have with them? What kind of a day is it outside? Do you noticing it looks a little bit wet out there? We see a puddle. They've got on rain boots. They've got umbrellas. And I'm noticing it might be a little bit cool out because they're all wearing jackets. And some of them even have hoods on. So I'm seeing some details in the picture that are making me get some ideas. Worms in our clutches, wind in our hair, boots full of puddle, mud everywhere. They look like they're having a great time exploring, and I can see the wind. Do you see the wind? I see some action lines of wind, and I also see the umbrella got pushed the other way. Bringing the outside in then, wiping it off, mopping it up, dumping it out again. So all the treasures that they collected and put in their pockets, they are now taking out to show mom and share. And look at this great big mess. Good thing they're taking off their coats and boots right near the door. We're bringing the outside in. Oh, bringing the outside in. Sea in our towels, shells in our pails, sun on our shoulders, sand in our tails. All right, what season do you think this might be that they're at the beach? Did you just say summer? You're right. Bringing the outside in then, shaking it off, washing it up, drying it out again. And there they are. They got all their shells. This looks like my house. My girls love to bring home bags and buckets of shells. Hanging up their suits and towels to dry. We're bringing the outside in, and oh, bringing the outside in. Bushels of apples, leaves stuck on clothes, acorns in pockets, smells in our nose. Can you smell fall right now? Just remembering back to those days. Wow, trees are changing colors. It must be, I kind of gave the answer away. What season, boys and girls? That's right, fall. We're doing some apple picking, bringing the outside in then, picking it off, sweeping it up, tossing it out again. Do you hear Noli upstairs? There must be somebody walking by the house. She's so silly. She's a good watchdog. Bringing the outside in. Oh, bringing the outside in. Snow in our collars, slush on our seats, nip in our fingers, icicle treats. What season is this, boys and girls? That's right, it is winter. What things do you notice that they're wearing for the winter? Did you just say snow boots? Did you maybe turn and tell your pet hats and gloves? That's right, all the things that we need to stay warm. Bringing the outside in, then brushing it off, warming it up, thawing it out again. Oh, and now they're warming up by the fire. They've got their mittens and things hanging up right there. That's just what we do at my house. We hang everything up by the fire in the winter, let the snow melt it off. We snuggle up and get warm. We're keeping the outside in. Oh, keeping the outside in. Wait a second. This whole book we've been saying bringing the outside in. How are they keeping the outside in? Treasures collected, pictures in heaps, stories remembered, memories for keeps. Oh, they're using pictures of their adventures to keep the outside in. Ah, keeping the outside in then. So now it looks like they're gathering up their pictures, putting them in a box. I wonder what they're going to do. Look, the puppy still has a stick in the house. How silly. Noli tries to do that. Digging it up, dusting it off, bringing it out again. Bringing it out again. So now, it's been a while, we can see there's dust on the box. And now they're looking through their pictures again, remembering the great adventures that they've had together. It is always fun to look at old pictures of things that we've done. The end. So I'm wondering, what was this story all about? What do you think? That's right. It was about going outside and finding treasures that you can bring back to the house with you, whether that's leaves or flowers. You might find an interesting rock. When it was summertime, they were at the beach. They brought back seashells and little bits of sand. We've got little containers of sand from different places we've traveled to remember that. You might find pine cones or colored leaves in the fall. Wintertime's a little bit tricky because the snow likes to melt, so it's hard to hold on to, but maybe you could think of some pine branches maybe you've saved of things like that, or at least photographs of snowmen that you've made, because we can't bring the snowmen inside, but we could take a picture standing with our snowman. So I'm wondering, when you go outside today, boys and girls, what are you going to bring in today, or what kind of pictures will you take of you having an adventure outside to bring the outside in? So where did this story take place? That's right, it took place outside, and it took place inside their house, because we would see them come back and clean up from being outside. And what when we say outside, what kind of things did we notice? Was this all just one day? That's right, this story took place over the whole year. It started in the springtime, next came the, that's right, summer, next came the fall, very good, and next came winter. And they were looking at their pictures and reflecting on all the great times they had together, playing outside and looking at some of their treasures. So today, get outside, grab some treasures, bring them back to the house, maybe take a picture of them, and you could share that picture with the class. Whether you do that on Flipgrid, whether you do that with a photograph that mom or dad post on Blooms, you could draw a picture of what you did outside. You could write me a few sentences. However you want to share with myself and the class, we're very excited to hear how you might be bringing the outside in today. All right. Take care, boys and girls. Have a wonderful Friday.